Welcome back. Right, you might have guessed it, but I have had an absolute stinker for the last 9 months.
Just the 9?
Well, probably more than 9 actually, but absolute stinker. And I was that close to just, you know what, giving it up and not doing it. But today, I'm going to set things right. I'm going to get back on track. I'm going to have a good day's fishing because confidence is pretty high, which is unusual of late. We're on a new river. We're fishing for one of my favourite small species, the Dace. And if you're a regular to the channel, or you've followed the channel for a wee while, you'll have seen a Dace video before, where we fished a kind of local water on the float. And we caught fish, but we didn't get them to the size, the standard that we were hoping for. We did sort of toy with the idea of fishing the feeder, but we decided against that. We went somewhere else and we caught some nice fish, but no big dace. So the plan for today is specimen dace. Well, any dace, but specimen dace would be ideal. And this place has them by the bucket load. I've done a wee bit of research, never fished it before. We've passed by it, we've seen it. A bit of research says that it holds a lot of fish. It doesn't get fished much in terms of coarse fishing, so it's almost like untapped territory. And there's fish topping everywhere. There's dace literally topping all over the place. So we're definitely going to catch fish today. 100% going to catch fish. And I think we're going to catch plenty of them. But what size will they be? That is the key. So positive thinking, need to get back on track, need to get my mojo back. And I think this is the place to do it, or to begin to do it anyway.
And just to prove, this isn't staged.
Nah,
we've
not even started yet. We've literally just turned up.
Everything's still in the bags.
We're in a bit of a jungle here, but we'll soon sort of get it into shape and get a couple of rods out. And yeah, we've got a fish feeder, little and often, just kind of standard feeder tactics. Really, we're not going to put in a load of bait. We're just going to trickle it in and see what happens. So the approach today, pretty straightforward, pretty simple. 2 pints of maggots, and we're planning on using them all. Plenty of bait required today. 2 kilos of ground bait, 50-50 brown crumb, and then Silver X dark roach, so it's like a black mix. And then just a small cage feeder. I think we've got, what's that, 30 grams, 35 grams, 40 grams. There's a little bit of flow here, not a huge amount, it's a big deep pool. But I prefer a slightly heavier feeder, just like it acts as a bolt effect. You know, these fish bite quite quickly, and having a sort of bolt rig sometimes helps. Right, that's the approach. Simple, straightforward feeder tactics, the style of fishing that I absolutely love. So believe it or not, I'm actually looking forward to this. So kickstart the swim. A couple of balls of just ground bait, there's no maggots through that. Just to draw a few fish, and then we'll fish maggots and feed them over the top of it. So the distance we're looking for, about 15 yards or so. There we go.
Usual behaves until the camera's on it, and then there I hook it. What's that, 7 ounce?
Yeah, I think that's about 5.
5 ounce?
Yeah. Long way to go.
What I will say is, you need the reflexes of a bloody ninja to hit these bites. They are so quick, and if you miss it, that's that, game over, back in, re-chuck it. But the bites have came quick, early, and they are quick, and we're getting fish. We'll talk you through the rigs and stuff like that in a minute. Well, we're trying to get the swim going, so back to it. So if you remember the video Alex was talking about, he fishes the helicopter rig, and as I said in that video, just gave me a sore head. But since then, in that year, I've learnt a simple method of tying it. So that's a loop knot to a swivel, and then the 35 gram exchange feeder for Guru. Nice wee serving a bait, ground bait, and here's a wee fancy bit. 2 float stops, medium sized ones, and sandwiched in between that is I think it's a size 6 swivel, would that be right? Smaller maybe. And with a nice wee tidy sleeve over the top. And there's your helicopter feature, for those that don't know. It spins round. Size 16 hook. Single maggot seems to be working for me. Let's see if we can replicate how quickly these bites are. We're no sticking up, we're no clipping up, it's just a wee overhand lob, just like that. Rod down as quick as we can. There we go. Did I get it? Who's this? There we go. That's how easy and quick that is. Get the rod safe. And for those who don't know what a dace looks like, you maybe still don't. There we go. There we go. Hopefully they get somewhat bigger. Into the keep net. So Alex had said earlier, I was going to get him to say it, but whilst we're here I'll say it. Some of you watching this will think that's bait. And I know for a fact some of you are watching this and thinking just that, because you tell us all the time. But the significance for those that don't understand, a pound, what's the record?
British record's 1.5.
So a £1 5 ounce fish would be the British record.
Scottish record's 1.
And the Scottish record, maybe heard Alex there, is £1 and 3 ounces. I think we know the record holder, don't we?
British record holder, yeah.
Is it Simon Aston, would I be right in saying that? So, well done that, man. Good angler as well. But to put it into perspective, Alex made a good, is it an analogy? Would that be the right word?
Yeah. Comparison.
A comparison. If you're a pike angler that thinks they're bait, a pound, say we get a £4 ounce Dace today, that would be a Scottish record. The equivalent to that would be like a £40, 47. For those that think the Scottish record still stands and argue the fact that it's not a British record, you know the story behind that. That's the significance of that fish. That's the kind of comparison, as Alex says. A £47 pike is the equivalent to what that £1 4 ounce Dace would be. So that kind of gives you some sort of perspective. Whether you buy into it or not is irrelevant to us. That's how we view it. But just to give you some sort of perspective on it, that would be fantastic.
What's the plan here? What are we after here?
We're after Dace and our Scottish record.
We're after the Scottish record.
Aye. Take the British record, but you know it's not going to happen. But
Aye.
you never know. There's some sort of rigmarole you need to go through. I think Alex, he's going to make a change to the float. I'm going to stick to the feeder setup. Just I can't be arsed changing, but if he starts hitting more fish, then I'll maybe switch to it. I did say, do you think we could target the bigger fish? In terms of, do we maybe go with a maggot feeder and feed maggots as opposed to the finer particles of the ground bait? But did you say it's like a class system they almost show in? Like, there'll be more of the smaller fish to the medium-sized fish, and then the bigger fish will be smaller again in terms of just luck.
A numbers game.
Luck and a numbers game. But enough talking, let's get back to the fishing.
This is frustrating fishing, this. Plenty of action, non-stop. Not even getting the rod in the rest and it's rattling over. It's so quick, it's so hard to hit. But we've set ourselves a wee bit of a target. I think we can get there. Apart from the British record. £15 of fish, £15 a dace. I think it's a realistic target.
You know, drop that since we spoke.
£20 would be nice. But 15 I think we can do. If we can start hitting the bites, and that's the problem. If we'd hit every bite we've had today, I reckon we'd be at £20 already. But it's so fast. Played around with the rigs a little bit. Missed another one. We've just not quite got it right yet.
I figured out quickly that the single maggot was working better, wasn't it?
Yeah, good observation.
I done something useful in coarse fishing.
You've actually had a few fish as well, which is unusual.
I know, because I'm no sleeping.
You're on a heli rig though, so I might be switching to that. I've went against what I normally...
I know, it's normally you that fishes this.
I usually fish a heli rig, but I've went for a little semi-fixed, sort of running rig.
Another headache.
I like it. But yeah, I might need to switch to something a wee bit more aggressive.
We're rattling through the bait anyway.
I know, it's worrying.
I always remember when we started this type of fishing, you pick up the wee bags of ground bait and you think, they're not going to last. It's amazing how far it does stretch, isn't it?
We're all using small, slimline feeders, so we're not putting a huge amount of bait in at one time.
You get that rod settled in your rod rest really quick to identify the bites, because it's, as Alex says, it's absolutely rapid.
We've just been trying to get them to compete as much as possible so they're less cautious. Suicidal, I think they need to be for us to catch them off. Jesus.
Yes.
Yeah, he's in. There you go. At least someone can hit them. It's good fun all the same. Frustrating, but good fun. Still nothing big,
It's not a bad one.
but a good average size.
Not going to lie, I'm still hoping a pike or a perch comes up and nails one of them. It's a discorder job.
Disgorge your job?
Yep.
That's a good sign. Committing a wee bit more maybe.
Not a good sign when you're hopeless at using them. Christ, I wanted that.
Yeah, I've changed feeder size, I've changed hook size.
Oh,
One thing I've not changed is the rig. That might be next.
there's that breeze we were wanting.
The what?
The breeze.
Aye. It's warm, really muggy today. Oh, there we go. Might be just getting a little bit more confident.
And I think that's because the twos have went back to feeder fishing.
This one's staying down. This is interesting. This might be a net job, Gordon.
No, it'll not be.
Oh, it's off.
Told you it'll not be.
Oh. I seen that in the water. That stayed deep. It's a better fish. If he was quicker with the net, we might have got it. Where isn't it?
You've probably not set it up.
Oh, it's there. It's there. That was a much better fish.
What I like about this is you're not having to do your wraps and
It's just simple, isn't it? It's good.
stick up and clip up and just lob it out to where you think.
I mean, if we were taking this seriously, we'd be far more organised and far more set up with a platform and our bait round about us. Very sort of match style.
Can't afford that, but
I can't afford it. It's too much gear to carry, so
there's another one, look.
we're not taking it too seriously.
Another wee trout.
It's a couple of those wee par you've had, isn't it?
Straight back with them. They're the future. Probably the most concentration you need to apply to fishing in it is this style. Or I do anyway.
So active.
It's the minute you put the rod down or you look away, that's when you get the bite.
I think we're finding if you've not had a bite within 30 seconds, you may as well recast.
Aye, it's a good shoot.
Couldn't hit a barn door with a shotgun.
That shot?
Really shortened it right down.
As Alex says, if 30 seconds you've not had a bite, bring it in, cast again, because there's why. That's my third wee par that's just been sitting. With that in its mouth. And back straight away he goes. See, one of the things about this style of fishing, I think you've said it before, folk are scared to try it, I think. They don't know what to do, but it's so simple, isn't it?
It's simple in the approach, but it's hard work, isn't it, to do it properly. And we're not doing it properly by any means, but we're giving it a right good go.
We're doing it properly in terms of pleasure fishing.
Aye.
The pleasure angler. In terms of what Guru are all about, and the match angler and competition fishing, it's... Of course we're not doing it that way.
I think what a lot of people grudge is the amount of bait that you need to put in.
Aye.
And it's not cheap ground bait.
And
But you need it to build big.
At the risk of sounding controversial, too many folk go onto Facebook and ask, rather than getting up off their arse and going out and have a look and trying. Give it a go.
I ask on Facebook.
Eh?
Sometimes.
Nothing. I think that's the problem these days. If you've got a bit of water next to you, the best way to find out if there's fish there is to go and fish it.
It's fine if it's local and you can get there kind of quickly and cheaply, but it's hard having to travel distances. No, it's a place that you're unfamiliar with and not sure. You kind of need a bit of background info on it, so it's a balance, isn't it? Don't ask for everything.
It's this bit I like the match angler setup. They're no up and down,
Having
they're no up and down.
everything to
At the end of the day, man, these are killing us. Everything's to hand.
It's a big investment, isn't it? The platform and the trays and
That's thousands of pounds.
the arms
no.
and the... Which is fine if that's all you do, you know, if you just... That's your style of fishing, but...
That brings me on to this. My favourite rod. This N-gauge rod. Say it all the time, it is, but see the thing I like about it? People have always asked, not everybody always asks it, but it's a commonly asked question. What rods are you using? What reels are you using? And this is the same rod that I've caught carp on, barbel on, chub, river fishing, commercial fishing, big river fishing, specimen fishing, and it handles it all. If you're wanting a budget rod that covers a lot of bases, then I don't think you'll find a better one. Even you must agree with that.
It's alright. I think it's a bit heavy for this stuff, personally. It's a wee bit heavy for 3 ounce fish. But it's great for your barbel, your tench, your carp, chub.
Trying to give you sound consumer advice here.
I need to be honest. Nah, they are great rods, but...
So the last video you mentioned that we did this style of fishing, the beauty of where we were fishing before, there was more than just Dace there. And you caught Quite a special fish, did you know?
I got my PB roach that day. Not on the float, not at the venue that we were trying for Dace, but just round the corner.
How big was it?
I know what's happening here. I know exactly what he's going to do here. I'm going to tell you how big mine was, and then he's going to tell you how big his was. So I'm not saying it, I'm not telling him.
So I get for taking the mickey, I missed that. Have you with my maggot and all? Anti-tangle sleeves my arse. Do you honestly think it's an achievable goal?
A Scottish record?
Aye.
I think out of excuse me, I think out of all species, the Dace offers the best chance in Scotland, I think. There's not many rivers hold them, but there's a couple rivers hold reputedly big fish. This being one of them.
You kind of wonder if fate's led us here today with what happened with the bait order no arriving yesterday.
Aye, that was annoying. That would be nice, that would be a nice ending. Because this wasn't meant to be our venue for today. We weren't supposed to be
First time
here.
Alex got put in charge of ordering bait.
I done nothing wrong. Courier.
It didn't turn up.
The courier screwed it. Hopefully it turns up today because we need it for tomorrow.
You never told me this was a possibility. This happened to me on Lomond and I was blown away. I thought I took to a leaf. Look at this. For anyone that doesn't know, that's a flounder. Brilliant.
This feels very different. Very different. What is this? This is a Dace. It's very big. Come on, please be a Dace. Oh, it's my full look Dace. They always know how to wind you up. Yeah, something just didn't feel right with that one. I thought it was absolutely huge, or another flounder, because it was fighting very differently. But it is a very peculiarly hooked. How did you do that? That takes skill. Weirdly hooked. Lovely Dace. That's a nice fish though, isn't it? What's that hook? Chunky.
You lines in that.
That's about 7 ounces, 6-7 ounces. We've got a long way to go for a pound. It's not even half a pound. Thought it was though. Thought it was. Well, back to normal. Normal service has definitely resumed. Started well. Well, started promising. We didn't do very well in hooking the fish, but there was plenty of them there. Now the bites have just dried up completely. It has got quite bright though, and it's not overly deep here, so it's the weather that's getting the blame, as always. But it was only going to be a short session today. We have the ominous task of watching Scotland play football later on tonight, which I'm not really looking forward to. So we're cutting this one short, but we're back out tomorrow.
2-0 Scotland.
2-0 Scotland. We'll see. We'll see. Maybe give this another 20 minutes. See if we winkle out a couple more. And then we don't have many in the net. There's a few there. We'll have a look at them. And then
Yeah, prediction.
For
The weight of the bag.
lucky if we get £5, I reckon. Nowhere near where we were expecting. But
I'll say 6.
£5 or £6. We'll check it. We'll check it in a bit. We'll fish a couple more casts. See if we get a couple more bites. And then call it a day, I think. Look forward to tomorrow. Well, as usual, we got ahead of ourselves a little bit earlier on. The target was £15. If the fishing stayed the way it was this morning through the afternoon, then we might have got somewhere near it, but we fell short by an absolute country mile. I don't even think there's £4 of fish in there. Was it just under 4?
£3.50.
£3.50. Pretty poor going, but you know what? It was just a recce. And if you look at some of these fish, you get a couple of the better ones together. The average stamp is
Fighting a losing battle.
nah, no, you get the idea. Well, we came for Dace and we caught them. New venue, river we've never fished before. Not entirely sure the feeder's the right method for them. That's probably the better fish. Nowhere near the specimen size we were looking for, but you know what? We're catching fish. Yeah, we'll be back. Definitely, I think it's worth another visit. It's definitely got potential. Just need to maybe just alter the tactics slightly. £15. There's always time for one more fish. First one of these I've caught in a wee while. I love them. I think they're cool wee fish. Especially when they get quite big. This is just a small one, but when they get quite big, they're quite impressive. A minnow.
Right, can we get him now?
Aye, alright, let's go.